Page 6, theme from Symphony number 104. This symphony was dubbed the name the London Symphony. This book has pages throughout the book where they put in a paragraph about each piece or the composer or both. I don't feel that I need to read those paragraphs to you. You can read those paragraphs and learn a little bit about Haydn and the London Symphony and all that stuff. That's wonderful. I'm just going to focus on the pieces. The point of this is that this melody is from this Haydn symphony. First question is going to be, where do I put the hands? Well, good question. I'm going to start with the right hand. I'm going to talk about that first, and then I'll talk about the left hand. Well, if you look at the first measure, you'll see that the fifth finger goes on G. So if I put my fifth finger on G, and then I put the other fingers on the notes next to it, that's where the hand goes. Right there. Just solve that riddle right there. It's here. For the right hand. I want you to understand all the symbols you see here. And I don't know what you know and what you don't know. So at first few pieces in this book, I'm going to try and explain pretty much everything. I may over-explain it. I tend to do that. But you see the two staff, a group of 5 lines is a staff, right? You got 2 of these, and you have the clef signs, and then you have the time signature, that's the 4/4. And above the staves, you see 2 little numbers, a 1 and a 9, and there's a box around each number. Well, this is how this publisher is identifying measure numbers. So if I wanted to, I could refer to measure numbers. I'd say, look at measure 7. Well, to look at measure 7, you have to find the line it's in first. The first line is measure 1 or 9, and the second line is measure 5 or 13. 5 is closer to 7, so I'll start there, and I'll count across from 5. So I go 5, 6, 7, and measure 7 then would be the third measure of the second line. That's how the measure numbers work. Now there's 2 boxes on each one because there's a repeat sign on this. At the end, you see at the end of the second line, which means we're going to play it twice. So the first time we play it, you're starting out at measure 1. Then when we repeat it, that becomes measure 9. So I could have referred to measure 14. And at measure 14, you've got to find that. Well, that would be equivalent to the second measure of the second line. And that's how that works. Now it's allegro. Allegro means fast. I don't know how fast is. It's up to you to decide. You can go listen to recordings of the Symphony number 104 and see how fast the orchestras take it. Different orchestras will take it at different speeds. The point is, there's no absolute speed. You say, this is fast. It's fast to some people. It might be slightly faster for others and not quite so fast, but my point is I can't say this is fast. Allegro is fast. Fast to you, whatever that is. Now, in between the staves, you have an MP dash or hyphen, whatever it is, and then an F on repeat. The words on repeat don't need to be there. That's something this publisher is stuck in for you. Music won't put in the words typically on repeat. It'll have the MP-F. The MP means medium soft, and that's the first time you play it. Remember, we're going to repeat it. Then the F means loud. So on the second time we play it, we'd play it loud. Now again, there's no absolute for medium soft or loud. It's to you. What do you think medium soft is? Sort of soft. Sort of soft? Yeah, it's a little softer than sort of loud. And loud is loud. I don't know. It's not as loud as you can get. There's louder than this, so careful. It's just loud to you. And it'll change with the setting, depending on the room, the piano, how many people are around. Are you in a big concert hall? Are you in a living room? They're different. So you have to adjust for your environment on these dynamics. So that's why I say, well, it's loud, but I don't know what that is. That's because you have to decide what loud is to you. That's that part of it. Now for the left hand, if you look over in the third measure over where the left hand comes in, you have those 2 G's in the bottom staff. Those are, you know, those are G's. You got to know the names of these notes, or we're going to be lost, because I refer to the note names all the time, and you won't have any idea where I'm at. Anyway, it says third finger on the G's, so if I do that, and I put the other fingers on the other notes around them, that's the hand position for the left hand. So we have here for the right, here for the left, and everybody's happy. We got them all. That's where the hands go. We got to do this for each piece. Now, some pieces the hands will move around. That's fine. I'm just talking about the start of the piece. This is where the hands go. In this piece, the hands don't move around, so we're okay. I don't say anything tricky about the left hand. All it has is 2 G's in the first line. The second line has got 2 G's, and then they stick in this chord at the end. And the numbers 3 and 5 are the finger numbers. So I'm going to play that E and G with the 5th and 3rd finger. And when you have multiple notes like that and you need to figure them out, because they can throw a lot of notes at you in a chord, you just start with the bottom note and figure it out. In this case, it's an E. And then the next note up, and you keep doing them until you get them all. And so the top note there is a G, so it's here. Now when I have to play more than one note at a time like this, I put my hand in that position for them, and I drop the hand. I don't try and use the fingers to do it, just drop the hand down. When it's just one note, you can get away with using fingers. But with multiple notes, you got to drop the hand down. It's different. So here. Try and get them down at the same time. I'm not real good at that, but you could do it, I'm sure. It takes practice. So then in the right hand, you have this note, you get all 3 of them. Oh, you have to work on that. Now, 4/4 time signature, so we're going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that junk. The bottom 4 is telling you we're counting quarter notes. If you're going to count something, you got to know what you're counting. Otherwise, what's the point? And we're counting quarter notes. So the equivalent of 4 quarter notes is going to be in each measure. In the first measure, you got 2 quarter notes and a half note. Well, a half note is the same as 2 quarter notes. So yeah, there's 4 counts in that measure. So when I would play it, I would count 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta hold the half note down for 2 counts. Next measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just keeps counting that way. Counting is what you do when you're first learning it and figuring out what this rhythm is. Once you've figured it out, you don't count anymore. I mean, you should have it. I should be able to play it. I'm gonna feel the beats. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not necessarily going to think 1, 2, 3, 4. I only do that at the beginning when I'm first learning a piece. I'm figuring out what everything is. Now, on top of all that, good Lord, they put a lot in here, didn't they? We have an articulation. The articulation is how we play the notes, because we've covered which notes to play, we've covered how loud to play them, and now we're adding on, well, how do you play them? The first 2 quarter notes have dots under them. Those are staccatos. Those mean they're short. Again, there's different shorts. I don't know how short. You could have it really, I tend to play my staccatos pretty short, just out of habit. And so I would play it this way. The half note is not short. You hold that down for a full 2 counts. And then next measure. Right. Then in the next measure, no staccatos anymore, so you're going to hold them all down. Connect them all. Now the technique for that, in case you don't know, there's different techniques for staccato. Of course, why not? Let's make it more complicated. Oh. I just pluck it with the fingers, really, for notes like this, just a single note. So now if I'm playing a longer staccato, I might do more of just an up-down thing, because I could play these staccatos like this. I just separate the notes. It's still staccato. Some people would say, no, that's not staccato, that's just disconnected. But other people would say, no, it's staccato. Anything that's not legato is staccato. I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying there's different lengths to staccato. I could have it real short. I could have it pretty long. Or somewhere in between. You'll have to decide, and it's different for different pieces. Once you learn the piece and you think, oh, what does it feel right? If you listen to a recording of this, maybe the orchestra will give you a hint on how staccato it is, or how short it is. So having said all that, I haven't lost you yet. Haven't run away pulling your hair out. Let's try this together really slowly. And the purpose of this play with me part is so you can play along with me to hear, are you playing the same note I'm playing? Because if I play this note and you play this note, those don't sound the same. And so you think, okay, I got the wrong note. If you had a teacher there, they would tell you if you were playing a wrong note. If you don't have a teacher, how do you know? How do you really know if you got a right note? Because they'll sneak in on you and you don't know it. The wrong notes are sneaky notes. So play along with me and you can check that you got the right note and you got the right rhythm. That is, you're playing the notes at the right time. So let's try this. I'll give us 4 counts because it's a 4/4 time. And we'll play that. And we are going to repeat it. So put your right hand where it goes, here. Left hand where it goes, here. And let's try it out. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Repeat. 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Now at the bottom of the page there is a duet part for the teacher. I'll pretend to be the teacher and I will play that and you play what you just played. And we'll do this together. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, a little closer to a performance level. So make sure you can play your part before you try this duet with me. Now I'll warn you on this duet thing that I'm not playing the same rhythm or notes that you are. So you have to pay attention to what you're doing and count 1, 2, 3, be right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And listen to me to stay with me to try the 1, 2, 3, 4 thing. They're suggesting that you move your part up an octave or 2 octaves when we do the duet because it'll sound better, because the notes in the duet are in this range and that's where you are. So if you'll move, just take middle C and pretend it goes up an octave, it's here, and you just play them here. There. And what that's telling you is the first time you play it here. But when you repeat it, go up another octave for the fun of it and play it up here. And so the second time you play it up there and see what that sounds like. That could be fun too. I'll give us 4 counts, but this is going to move. It's going to be like a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Probably should go faster than that, but let's just take it that speed for now. So go ahead and put your hands where they go. I'll give you 4 counts and we'll play this together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2. 3, 4, off.